Discovering who you are today is the first step to being who you will be tomorrow. Join Deborah Powell and Barry O'Donnell on a step-by-step journey into finding your Heartlight, a podcast series of self-exploration and discovery. Are you ready to become the best version of you?
Hi there. Welcome to episode number 8 in our series called Finding Your Heartlight. Now tonight, Deb and I are going to share with you the topic of empowerment. And what does it mean to you? And what could it mean to you? So when we talk about empowerment, what are we talking about? We're talking about taking responsibility for your life, taking control of your life, being comfortable with who you are, speaking your truth, having your voice. That's empowerment. You know, it's not all about being a superhero. It's about having complete control of who you are and not giving that power away to others. That's why it's empowerment. It's your power. You get to keep it. You get to decide what you're going to do with it. And the more of it you take on, the more power you have. So I asked you, Deb, how empowered do you feel? Or another question, do you remember a time when you didn't feel empowered and what that was like?
Well, I believe empowerment is different for many. Maybe the way that we think of empowerment, I like to think of it certainly as taking responsibility for our life. So when I didn't feel empowered, it was when I knew, and I didn't know this until later, that I really wasn't taking responsibility for my life in the decisions I was making. And it's so easy that when I think others make decisions for us, it also makes it easier to blame when things don't work out. And so that in itself, I don't feel is being empowered in our life and taking control of our own life, because we're allowing our destiny to be run by others because they're the ones making the decisions. So how easy is it to just sit back and allow things like that to happen? And therefore, we lack the purpose and drive in our life to really make something happen. All our series of what we've been going through is so much to give that power back, to be able to watch all of those things that we do, and they are all to do with empowerment in the language, in our self-care, in the responsibility we take in our lives. So for me now, I feel empowered because I take responsibility of my life. Whether things work out or not, it really doesn't matter. And I think that's very powerful to know that it's okay, we're not perfect. And in fact, it's good not to be perfect, to know that we're actually human. Taking responsibility of your life and living it with the purpose and drive that you want for yourself to have the best life. So that's where I feel empowered, I think, Barry, to answer your question, because I know that in every way that I can, and of course I slip up because I'm human, I take responsibility.
I think that's an awesome answer, Deb. And I could certainly hear the passion in your voice and the strength behind your words, whereas whether that came from a memory or whether it came from how it changed or whether it came from who you are now, I don't know. But I do know there was a lot of power in your voice in that. So you were speaking with volition and intention in the message you were giving us. And I think that is absolutely awesome. To me, I mean, that tells you about empowerment. You're so right. When you let everybody else decide what you're going to do, where you're going to go, what you're going to eat, how you're going to dress, where's the power in that? The person telling you what to do has all the power. You're just the puppet. You're going along with it. I use that word puppet very loosely. I understand there are people who do not want to have to make a decision. I understand they're totally okay with letting everybody else make the decision. And if that's how you want to live your life and you're happy, keep doing it. Go hard. No judgment here. It's your life to live as you want. But if you want to be in control of your life, if you want to be able to decide what you're going to do, where you're going to go, how you're going to dress, who you're going to see, what adventures you want to go on, whatever it is. When you take a responsibility, that's power. When you take responsibility for the results, that's still your power. Maybe things don't go the way you wanted or the way you intended, but you'll learn something from it. Maybe you just think, well, that was a lot of fun. Probably shouldn't do it again, but I had a lot of fun. Who knows what you're going to learn from it? Yeah, I may have had an experience like that too. Another story, but having that power, it's up to me how I feel. It's my choice with it, how I want to respond to anything. It's not up to you. It's not anyone else's job to make me happy. And if I try and tell somebody it's up to you to make me happy, well, I'm just giving you all my power. That's not going to go well for either one. That's a lot of pressure on the person you give the power to. And it's just so disheartening and disempowering to you for giving that power away. Keep the power. Use it. Be responsible for yourself. Stand up. Let yourself shine. Like, just be true to who you are. Think back to when you're young kid, child, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 years old, whatever age you want to go to. But you look at yourself back then. You're bound to have some memories in there of when you believed you were unstoppable, believed you could do anything, believed you could climb a mountain or do all these wonderful stunts on your bike or do whatever. You were just unstoppable. You could do anything. And if somebody didn't like what your choice was, like, you didn't care. It's like, yeah, I'm going to do this. You can either come with me or not. It's up to you. That was power. As you grow up and other responsibilities get handed to us, that tends to go by the wayside. We put ourselves second. So now, is it going to be coming full circle if you take your power back? It is, but in a so much stronger version, because you've had a lifetime of experience to give you way more power than you had back then. Because someone was still responsible for you. You're still reliant on other people, but now you're not. The only one you rely on now, or need to rely on now, is yourself. There may be others who rely on you if you're a parent, but you still need to take care of yourself. You still need to have your own power. You still need to be the role model. Now I can say need, but these are choices for you. If you choose to do it or choose not to do it, either way, you have the power. It's still empowerment, knowing you have that choice.
Absolutely, Barry. Very well said. And it's a difficult thing sometimes to know that we do need to take responsibility. And responsibility does mean becoming an adult. And by becoming an adult means that we take on the power of an adult, and have that empowerment as an adult. So each step of our journey is all about growing, building, reclaiming, stepping into the powerful person that you actually are. You were when you were younger, you are now. And to be able to thrive in the best life that you'll be able to have for yourself, and give yourself that little bit of credit to go, I'm really standing on my own 2 feet and I feel so good.
I think you touched on an excellent point there too, Deb. We highlight reclaiming your power. It's probably fair to say there are some people that never grew into their power, that were never trained that they had the power within them. They were never taught ways of being accountable or responsible. I understand every generation has wanted the generation behind them, as in every parent wants their kid to have a better life than what they had. But we got to make sure that we're raising people that are responsible, that are accountable for their action, that are kind and care for other people. Empowerment isn't just helping you and take care of you. It's also being in a position you can help others too. Even if that help is just showing them how to be a good person showing them how to be responsible, showing them how to be kind, showing them what taking control of your own life looks like. If you've never gone there, if you've never felt like you were responsible for your life, that everyone else made your decisions and told you what to do, maybe it's a bit of a foreign concept to take that power on, to understand you have the power. I want to share with you, though, you have always had the power within you. Everybody here has always had everything they need inside them already. Maybe you didn't learn how to access it. Maybe you never practiced it and applied it to your life, but you've always had everything you need inside with you. And I fully believe that. And I fully believe that everybody has the power within themselves to live life on their terms. It's going to take a conscious effort, but it's there. And once you start seeing it, you will never unsee it. Start small, work your way up to bigger things, even starting by make a promise to yourself to do one small thing and then do it. No matter how small, just tell yourself you're going to and do it. And do something else and do something else. That starts building your self-confidence, which builds your self-esteem, which builds your self-empowerment. It's small steps. Anyone who's been following along on our podcast series so far knows that we're just leading you up to that point, that you have all the power, that you have all the control, that you find your Heartlight. And maybe it's not just reconnect with your authentic self. In some cases, it might be actually connecting with your authentic self. How many times, I'll even ask you this, Deb, how many times have you talk to people and they just say, look, I have no idea who I am or what I want or what I like and what I want to do with my life?
All the time, Barry. All the time. It's amazing that I don't think people often sit down or have the thoughts of just spending that time with themselves to really think about what their own purpose is and what they want from their lives. I think we crossed this in one of our previous episodes, is quite often they know what they don't want. It's easy to say what I don't want, but what do I want? I have no idea. Is it because there's so many options out there? Is it because they don't know how to find where their desires, their passions and things like that lie? And I think this is where it's really important to really think back. And quite often I take people back to go, what did you want to do when you were young? And it's quite often that's something that's still inside them. This is the way I thought my life would be. Well, that's probably the way it should be. It's somewhere along the lines. It's just got off track a little bit, and that's really good because it's allowed us to understand and learn a variety of things. So how do you bring all those little paths back? Because I believe that everything that we do in life happens for a reason. And as long as we're still moving forward, all of those little branches eventually connect back in, as long as we can take a little bit of a proactive thoughts and decisions to want to make them come back in and start sitting down and going, okay, I'm working through all these things and I really need to know, what do I want to focus on? What is my purpose? What do I really want? And to really think about not what you don't want, but what perhaps you do want. Starting small and start with one thing. At least one thing is so much easier to drive toward than what 100 things are. So very important to just start small, because even the smallest change or the smallest thought that you carry out can often have quite a major impact in your life through where you're going. So certainly never stop trying. As you say, Barry, no, a lot of people simply don't know what they want.
Part of this, when we talk about empowerment, I also hear it's something that scares people. We get they become afraid of being judged. We worry about what somebody else is going to think or what opinion somebody is going to have of what we're trying to do. Anything with personal growth, that's a really strong subject that's not a lot of people talk openly about, but a lot of people may have an opinion or make comment, whether it's complimentary or snide, sarcastic. People have comments. I talk to people about personal growth and understanding that as you grow, especially at this level, when you start taking your power back, be prepared. Some people are going to be upset with your choices, because when you take your own power back, you're no longer serving the role that they intended for you. That's their issue. That's their journey. That's where they are. Your power back is, wow, I do have the choice. Yeah, I'm good with it. If somebody else isn't good with it, that is their issue. And you can choose whether you want to discuss it with them or not, and what you want to do after the fact, depending on the results of that conversation. You can choose to let go. You can choose to move on. You can make the choice. It's all about the power. Nobody else is living your life but you. And you're the only you. So be you. Take full power, full responsibility, full control. Just be you unapologetically, regardless of somebody else's opinion. Because it is really exhausting trying to be somebody else, trying to be the person you think you need to be so that you'll be liked or so that you'll belong. But it's pretty liberating to just be yourself and say, hey, take me or leave me, your choice. It's freeing. It is empowering.
Absolutely, Barry. That is all the word that really hits so strongly with me, and which you actually said at the end there with freeing. It is a real freedom to be authentically you and have that power to know that you can make these choices and to know that it's okay, that if it doesn't work out. So being unapologetically, imperfectly, perfectly you, it is such a freeing thing. And you'll feel light. It's certainly something to really strive toward, knowing that feeling inside you're not going to want to let go of, because it's going to feel wonderful. It's going to feel empowering. And so it's really important to continue working toward, and as Barry said, to know that when change starts happening within you, a really strong positive change and something that you want, of course there will be others that may notice and not really like this, because how is it going to affect them? That's the way people think, but it's affecting me, and that is not your concern. Your concern is to really take care of you, to honor who you are. And you're not here for them, you're here for you. And by being the best you, then you'll be able to share and help others in the way that you want to. And that in itself is freeing, it's freedom, and it's powerful. So I really love this conversation, Barry. Empowerment can be a daunting word, but truly all it means is just being confident with who you are. And that in itself is something that we can learn to do, but allowing yourselves to be confident, to build that self-esteem, not be limited by thinking that's happened in the past, to know that it is possible to change, and to grow.
Absolutely. We've talked about the power of redefining your past experiences, looking at things from a different perspective, understanding that you've always had the strength to survive everything you've been through to this point. So you have absolutely zero evidence to support any argument that you cannot handle anything else life is going to throw at you. No need to challenge, because This is empowerment. It's your choice. Inspire yourself. Take it on. Don't take it on. Entirely your choice. If you take it on, you're going to be ready for the next level when we have next week's episode on meanings and stories.
Stories and what we tell ourselves can really influence our lives and our power. So I think that'll be a really good one to be able to catch up on.
So is there anything else you want to add, Deb?
No, I think I have the power to close this.
Absolutely do. There you go. That is my case in point. Argument supported. Thank you very much. Thank you to everyone who took time out of their day to listen to our podcast and to follow us on this journey to helping you find your heart light. So until next time, be well and keep shining. Bye for now.
Thanks so much, everyone. Thanks again, Barry. It's been a fun episode. I look forward to next week. I hope everyone has gained some value out of it, as much as we love to be able to share all of this with you. Look forward to any of your comments. If you're not in our Facebook group, please have a look and join it. We'd love to hear some of your comments, and hit the subscribe button to stay up to date with all our next podcasts coming up. Look forward to seeing you next week, and cheers for now. Have a wonderful week. Bye, everyone.